Hey guys, and welcome back to the Blue Tiger Poker 10K Challenge. So we're just jumping on the tables here on Monday night, and basically not many going on. There's a few $1 tables, but everybody was, and a couple of them was playing very low percentages. So we got a 50-cent table in right now in the mix. So we'll look to change that out later, but getting right into it, we're just waiting patiently. Been here a couple rounds in this one. Player 6 has played almost every hand so far, so we are going to look to get in with a lot of pots, re-raise, isolate to him. He's called a couple bets from some other people. As you can see, he's got a little bit bigger stack, so usually when he does, and here we're going to take a little stab at this. I think these two guys have been calling, and then we're actually going to re-raise this guy over here who open raised the weak player, and we're going to pick up that free money with our ace queen. Down there you can elect it. We flopped it pretty hard. Thing is, I think if they had a jack or any kind of draw, then they would be continuing with any of those hands. So we're trying to get some value out of the hand there. Checking it could have, was an option, but if the 10 comes in, we're playing a little bit more cautiously in that hand. The top table up here to the left is the actual 50-cent table, and everybody seems to be loving playing on there except for like player 5. So we're going to sit there and wait for a little bit better hands and raise it up too, and then we're expecting probably to get it at least 3 ways. I don't think we're going to get it under that. And pretty common here, we have one guy who limped and the other guy raised. We're just going to go ahead and try to take this down, and if they call, then that's fine too. But okay, player 6 here is limped in again, so we're going to raise it just a little bit to try to isolate to him. Jack 9's, a little bit more marginal hand, but I think we can play our hands properly. So when we do hit, we're going to pick those up. And I was about to say, player 4 hasn't played many hands, so if he does elect to make the play, we're going to fold out to him, even though we had position. In his range, let's say we hit a jack, still not the best hand to do so with, and he could be doing it with a wider hand type of hands too, 4-betting us with it because he knows that we're trying to isolate the player 6. So we're going to keep our eye out, and then continue. Then we're going to pick some hands to probably go ahead and 5-bet him with those. So on the 50-cent table, as you see, people are calling off with pair of 6s and stuff. So very interesting there on that table. Things are going pretty well this month. We had that rocky start, but since then we've recovered that, and we're in the positive now for the month. I don't remember exactly where we are, but I think right now in the first week we're up like $300, $400 or so. So after being down $350, a $700 swing, we'll definitely take that any old time. And you guys don't forget about the Say It Ain't So contest, still going on this month. I think we're probably up around maybe the $30, $40 range. Could be even higher than that. Hadn't got a chance to edit the last video, so... And there's one right there. But if you guys are not familiar with that, you just basically got to be active in the Blue Tiger community in some form or fashion, whether it be on the website, getting coaching, doing a YouTube subscription, talking about comments on YouTube, or following us on Twitter. So we have a guy at 78% of his hands, pretty much. It's kind of weird because here's this dilemma we're in. We're already at 8. So, this guy's playing 67%. So we're unfortunately going to either choose to take this hand, or we're just going to fold it out. So, I mean, Ace Jack is a good hand, but with a guy who might have King Queen suited down here, what exactly? And then this guy's disconnected. He might elect and think that's a great hand, and then he's still alive in our hand. But if he has King Jack or something like that, then it's a different little ball game. And here we're just min raising, just trying to isolate. Player 3 just flat. Hadn't really played a hand out of 17 hands or so. So we would assume he's probably set mining. And here we're just going to go ahead and bet because this guy's called a lot of bets. I don't think he's done much on the river either. So it's highly unlikely he has a 4. Maybe he picked up a 9. We don't know. So he's called, and maybe he has a weak king or something like that. So we're going to bet to price him in. So any pocket pair he's probably going to call us with. He might even call with an ace high type of hand. And be interested to see what he had. So, and he did have a pocket pair. He had pocket 2s. So apparently he didn't believe us for one bet on anything of that board, and he was calling us down. So we know we're going to get money out of him. So those raises are done on purpose and trying to get to him. And when player 3 did, it was a pretty okay flop for us. It means he probably didn't hit a set. So here's this guy raising again, and we're actually just going to flat it and see what he does. Even though he's got position, he's been making this play a couple times, and then he's check. So thing is, that's going to hit him all day. So I don't think we're going to be able to shoot far. We won. I don't know how we did that. So you can have a pair. I mean, really, honestly, betting there, he's going to call with any pair he has, or probably an ace high. He's just going to do that. He's probably that poor of a player, unless we bet really big at him. And down here, because we took so long, I think we're going to check. And now the king is actually a good card. Unless he bets, if he checks to us, we're going to bet. And most of the time take this pot down with a half pot bet here. So, and he might continue with a queen jack type of hand, or jack 10. And if he bets here, it means he has the nuts, and he probably will go ahead and bet that. So we're actually going to bet again. I think again, we're going to pick this up the biggest portion of the time. I think the king, he called, and if he shoves here, it means he made the straight, and he could have 2 pair, but I think again he would bet. So he actually had a pair. It was really bad on his part. So we know now to bet value on this guy. Anytime we're up at pot against him, that was just an oddly played hand, and really don't know why he made a call with his pair of 2s there on the river, because we showed strength, and then I don't know. So I guess he really thought different wise. So again, we're going to isolate and try to get to him, or one of these idiots over here. So we're hoping he calls again. He called a big raise the last time, so I don't see a reason why he wouldn't call again this time. So okay flop for us. We're actually going to continue here, and he's probably going to say you're bluffing. But again, we do have some outs coming, And if he does have a jack, I don't think he's going to raise. So half pot bets are going to pick this up majority of the time. But who am I to say? He called us off with a pair of twos. But we should pick that pot up more times than none. So we got a good percentage of our money back on that hand there. And in other news in the poker world, if you guys are members of the 2+2 community, their website is forum is still down, and I think it's because they're choosing to make sure all the security is in place. And you know, if you go to their website, they totally don't hide anything. They're out there saying we're kind of giving this to the 14th, just to kind of make sure, you know, we've got all the new security in place. Seems like they've had a bigger issue than I had from a few weeks ago on their stuff. So up here again, you know, this guy has been going crazy, so we're opening on the larger side. Both of these guys are calling, and the double ace board is fine for us. The guy bets 50 cents, so we really don't have to worry about much. When he makes that bet, it's pretty much saying, take it away from me. Please raise me. Don't even know what the 50 cent really bet means. It's just, you'll see it very common. So if you see somebody lead out, and unless they're just a super good player, and you're going to know that, it's a play towards the end where, you know, if you're betting in a pot and all of a sudden it's called the one chip bet, where somebody's like, they get to the river and then they really got to put in a bet to really take you off of a hand or something like that. It's a little different, but when they do it on the pre-flop and sometimes lead out on the turn, you can raise the one on the flop, because sometimes they'll like pocket twos, for instance, like the other guy. They'll make a 50 cent bet and then they'll do it again on the turn. So as you've seen there, the guy does not get aggressive unless he hits something large, and that time he flopped the set and made the boat on the river. So I mean, I'm sure the other guy had to at least have a jack in his hand. Yeah, so the other guy had you know, the jack, so he's probably not folding to that guy either. Over here, good thing is our player 6 kind of reloaded, so it's good for us. He's going to be more one of our money makers in the hand. Unfortunately, he's already folded this one. So, you know, player 3 there, his button range. And here, there's no reason for us to bet. The reason is he's going to fold out, you know, and if he has a king with a weaker kicker, then he's probably going to call, or maybe a pocket pair. You know, and so unless he hits the 9 here, I think we're okay in the hand. And he's probably not calling anymore, which he didn't, but we're still going to bet small value there. In the 7-6, I do like those type of hands, but yeah, this table, the only player is player 2, who's very loose, so I'd rather not him have that position playing this type of hand. So this time it's a fold based on the players that's after us, where if we were in player 1 seat here, then it's a definite open. Player 6 seat, it's definite open. But we have too many tighter people afterwards that where we'd have to flop a pretty good hand to be able to do very well with that hand in early position. So as you can see here, we're going to fold, but again, this guy, he just loves to do the silly raise pre-flop, and then he shuts down post-flop, and it's going to be, I mean, he's not calling. So it's very interesting to see how he plays out hands. And so if you guys want to watch a bad player, just watch player 4 on this 50 cent table. Pretty comical, actually. So here we got us another good hand. Hopefully, you know, we're going to make it on the larger side. One is we got a stronger hand. It is suited. Player 3's been calling a lot. He hasn't been doing much, but player 6 will get in there. So we want to make the pot a little bit on the larger side. we only have one person that is basically has position now on us. And that's the overall goal, is for us to get the button in the hand. So pretty good strong flop. We didn't actually make a pair, but we have the nut draw, and probably if he's got king queen, he might have ace jack or something like that. So I mean, to the jack, we're actually drawing. If he has ace jack, the ace is not going to help us. We're down to the queen, but we still have the 9 outs on the spade draw here. So, in that bet right there, he's called 2. I don't really see him going away on the 3rd unless he's on a draw himself. And we can actually see if we can move him off his hand with a larger size bet, because we bet half pot. So, we could put him on the queen, and I think, again, we did win the pot, but I think that bet's going to make us an EV play there on the river, because he called. So if he had a jack, I think maybe he would have raised just on the turn. And if he had a 9, then we're just, that's the other reason, if he thinks that he has the jack and he could be a weak player. And we're definitely calling our buddy over here. So, and we're just going to check and see how this plays out. Again, he does pre-flop, he goes crazy. Post-flop, he's very, very tight. He never hardly bets. So, even with this hand, we got the king high. It's not worth it. He bet pot, though. That's the only reason I would ever consider, but it's just we can find a better spot to get our money out of this guy. There's no sense in trying to say every hand we should beat him and try to play those. You need to just pick your hands, and that makes more sense and doesn't put a lot of risk. So there, we're raising basically for us to hit our king high to be good for one, or the ace to pair up on the river, and hope he didn't have an ace. But I really think he either had a 10 pocket pair, or he had the ace. He has not been doing anything post flop to tell us otherwise in aggression. So it does kind of suck, because we could have made the 50-cent call there with our 4-7, and then probably win a pretty decent pot here. I would assume that the guy probably has like a 7-9 or something like that. He could have had 5-6. I bet his gut shot, but again, he is very. His gut shot. He's open-ended. He's very passive post flop too, so he had to have something there. I don't think he's just betting for the hell of it there and trying to make a play on anybody. Down here, we kind of forgot about that table for a second. We're doing okay this session. Actually, what do we got here? We got a guy completing, so we're definitely going to raise. We do have a stronger hand. We'd raise this hand no matter what. If we had Queen 2, I was about to say, or 8-2, we're definitely raising the same hand, because the odds are our continuation bet right here is going to pick this pot up probably about 70 to 80% of the time. And if he does raise this, then that's fine. But there's not many hands that he's going to limp with and then call raise. And then that card right there is a beautiful card to allow us to go ahead and continue to bet on and probably get him to fold out. Over here we got 10-9. And our buddy, we know he calls raises. And if it was suited, I wouldn't mind raising it. And here he bets $2. He's betting pot. We have a gut shot. It's a tough one. Again, I think we can just wait. There's no sense to burn money on this guy. We know sometimes he likes just to call down. He did bet, so again, it kind of maybe says, hey, he's got a little something there. Maybe like a 9-7 or 5-7, who knows. So we could be playing for the gut shot only. And down here is our buddy again, who called our re-raise the first time and then called us down with a 2. The ace there, we're going to kind of see, you know, what his thoughts are here with 7-4. The board is a little bit better because it's unlikely he has the 5. He would probably bet his jack, and then the ace, I think he would have raised pre-flop with the ace. So here, we're actually going to just flat, because if player 4 here decides that he's going to squeeze play it again, then we can kind of call that with our hand. You know, we didn't flop anything, but our hand will play well against these two. And if we did flop it, you know, if it made a straight, which it just did, it's very disguised in that point. So unless they have a set, or, you know, they got a 7-5, 7-8, and then down here we're definitely raising this up with our pocket jacks. Probably you'll get player 1 to get out of the way, and then he shoved 28. Now it's unfortunate, and here we're just actually going to bet on the bigger side because somebody has a 7. His bet just means that he's probably got aces, kings, or queens, but now we're stuck in the situation where we're betting, calling 18 to win a $40 pot. So, and up here we bet larger because we want them to just think we're trying to steal it. And our buddy will probably call us off on that one. Oh, what do we do? Boy, it's sick. We got to make the call. It's just sad. We're hoping ace king, something like that. There's the kings. So we kind of knew that we had to be up. Oh, suck it right there one time. Oh well. You know, it happens against us, so every now and then we gotta make them feel the pain too. So we actually defined his hand, and again, the only reason we ever had to make that call there was because, you know, when we raised it, and, you know, he's got the fun one. So you know, he was short stacked, so when he made the bet, there's just no way we could fold the hand for what the pricing we were getting on that. So up here we have a backdoor straight draw, and also we're just gonna call over here, and a club draw. And I don't know if we're going to get anybody out. And so the thing is if one of these guys has a 9, they're probably checking it right now, thinking they're getting fishy. So if we did bet, whoa. The thing is, I think we're going to get this guy stack. So he bets 950. Now the problem is that we're going to get his stack on the river if he calls. And it's the biggest percentage of the time we think. So our goal here is we could actually raise and call BS on the guy. So I think raising here, or basically going ahead and getting as much money in the middle, or we can fold. I don't think calling, because in calling, I think it's not going to allow him to really do much. And if he has a 9, we're definitely getting it in, and all we're doing is getting it in with a club draw. If we maybe had an over or something like that, saying he might have had a pocket pair, it's a different situation. So I think we are just going to fold. And again, we're going to wait for better spots. I mean, there we're hoping the cards themselves will come and save us, because again, we are saying we pretty much are behind. I mean, he's bet pot a few times, so that could be a tell that he's very weak when he does that. And when he bets like smaller portions, it means he's very strong. So we're just going to continue to watch that. And so that was the reason. It was like we could call BS on the guy and raise him like a small min raise and see if we could chuck it down. But again, he's also kind of stubborn. And what if he's doing it with the club draw too? It's kind of what we got to factor in, is we could be drawing kind of dead there unless he has the club draw and we hit like the 8 or something along those lines, one of our other cards. So we're probably going to play through this rotation and we'll call it quits on this one, guys, when it gets around here. So here's our buddy over here. He's basically, doing his little funny raise thing again. So we actually hit something. So we're actually going to bet it against him, knowing that he's probably going to call. And we're trying to make it to where we can get enough of our money in there. I mean, if he made the straight, he made the straight. So that's actually a really good card for us. I don't think he's going to bluff here on the river. I think he will call if he has anything. So we're actually just going to shove the last little bit, and he made the 5. So 2 strong bets. Why is the guy really calling? He has to hit 2 cards to make the other. So I think their shoving was the better option for us at that time. So yeah, let's click these off. It looks like when it comes around, we'll kind of sit out. Actually, guys, because of the video time, just looked over, to keep this thing at around 30 minutes, we're probably just going to go ahead and call it quits here. So that wraps it up for another episode of the Blue Tiger Poker 10K Challenge. So until next time, guys, good luck at the tables.